I see jazz hands from you. Come on, dude. Jazz hands. There you go.
Yeah.
Gulf Coast gun, jazz hands. There you go. There's Walter Keller doing the crazy Keller jazz hands, whatever that means.
Yeah.
We are live. This is episode 157 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, live from the Big Daddy Gun Studios. And I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. We're talking today to a gun store here in Florida that after everything that happened in Lakeland, they wanted to help schools become safer here in Florida, and they made an offer to help people out. Facebook took their offer with a fence and basically either deleted your Facebook page or put it in Facebook jail. Which one?
They put us in it looked like they put us in Facebook jail. It looked like they had deleted us for a week, and it let us back on after a week. I couldn't even get on my personal Facebook for a week because we were attacked, because my personal Facebook was attached to our store page.
Oh, okay, cool. So I know I was hearing echo a little bit. I think that might be from you guys. Just turn down your volume a little bit, because I think we might be getting a little bit of echo from you. I know it's two of you there, so. Or what you can do.
I'm loud, Hank.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I don't think we're hearing it now. So, we've also got Walter Keller, Safety Harbor Firearms. What we're going to do here, I'm going to go through real quick and shout out everyone in the chat. I don't know if that's any better. Let me know if that's better or worse for you guys out there. I think I'm still hearing it. So, yeah, let's get the technical issues worked out first. Also, what you guys can do to help with the echo is, like, if you're not talking, you can actually just mute. So you should have a mute button on there.
Sure.
Yeah, so if you mute it, that'll help. There we go. I think they muted now. Okay, so no, they didn't mute. Do you guys see the mute button?
Yeah, but it's muting you as well. We can't hear you.
No. So here's what you do. So mute, if you move your cursor up to the top of the screen.
Sure.
Yeah, up top you'll see invite people, mute microphone if you hover over stuff.
See it.
Yeah,
okay.
so you hit that. There you go. Okay, they figured it out. See, this internet can be conquered. The internet can be conquered. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do right now, before we start talking to the guys from Gulf Coast Gun, and by the way, they did say that they have their Facebook page back. So, guys, did you have to start from zero, or do you have the followers you had before?
We have the followers we had before. So everything popped back up. It wasn't allowing us to do everything, and I went back and adjusted some settings. I guess they took the settings off and everything after they put us in jail for a week, and after we figured out the settings that they took us off, we popped right back up as normal.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into the story pretty soon here, guys, but what I want to do is encourage everyone to go to their Facebook. Guys, can you just tell us real quick what your Facebook page is?
It's Gulf Coast Gun and Outdoors is the name of the Facebook page.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to get into that here. I'm going to go look it up, and we're going to put it in the description. So if you guys out there would just go, you might want to mute me. Or you might want to mute yourselves. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so everyone in my audience right now, we've got a bunch of people in here. Please click the thumbs ups. Please share and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go through and do the roll call right now, but I'm also encouraging you guys to go look up Gulf Coast Gun and Outdoors on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, and follow those or like them there, okay? And let's they've got a really good story that we're going to get into. What are you going to say, Walter?
You guys are in Milton, right?
Yes, we are. We're about 20 minutes outside of Pensacola.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I had the right place. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, did you find the link, Walter?
I found their Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share it with me in the chat? Do you know how to do that?
I should be able to figure it out, maybe.
Okay.
I'm looking at it on a different computer. I need to do it on the other one. So.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can do it real quick here, and then I will. Okay, I think I found it. Let me see. Do you guys have like 13,000 likes?
Oh.
Sounds like that.
13,000 followers.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna copy it right now, and I'm gonna share it in the chat here so that everyone can go there.
Yeah, you guys got way more than I do. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Don't be jealous, Walter.
No, I'm not. I'm just making a statement, man.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. Yeah. Well, I bet you we can get these guys to like Safety Harbor Firearms on Facebook.
They might. Yeah, they might.
Yeah, you know. And let me see. I'll go in here right. Yeah, if you haven't liked Safety Harbor Firearms already, you should definitely go do that. So let me see. I'm going to put it in here.
What did the Illinois Senate do today? Did they pass that shit they were trying to push through there too?
In Illinois, I don't know. Someone's going to have to tell us
part of the stuff they were pushing through in Illinois had a 50 cal ban in it too. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lola, I put that in the chat. So for in the description. So for everyone who wants to know what their Facebook is, it's in the description. Let me go through and shout out everyone here that's in the chat right now. Thanks, guys, for being here, for being in the chat, you know, and commenting, all that kind of good stuff. We really appreciate it. And Nico Sauer is #1. Nico Sauer is #1. He says he's a descendant of the Sig Sauer family. Nico Sauer, congratulations to you. You have achieved what many Americans have striven to achieve in a lifetime. You are #1 on this one. So there you go. Congratulations, man. It's a cool thing. 33 Bravo says pole position. If you ain't first, you're last. Good evening, everyone. Screaming Skull Saloon also in here. Chris Illog, Rusty Shackelford says, what's up? Cody Phillips says, what's up? Hashtag buzzy buzzy blah, blah, blah. Let's see who else. Michael Bender says hello to all the strangerholics out there in gun world. Imposter says hello all. Let's see who we have. We've got Hamburger Helper says hello strange and stranger people. Christopher Stout is also in here. What is this? We did it? I don't even know what that. He says what's up. I can't even really read that one properly. So we Todd. I don't get it. Todd did. I don't know. That's just confusing. Robert Norton.
Alex Killer's in the house.
Oh, really? Will Killer Keller's in there?
No, Alex.
Alex. Oh, Alex Keller. Oh,
daughter, Alex.
How you doing, Alex? How's everything?
Alex. It's not Alex.
Alex. Did I not pronounce the X properly?
It's just LX Keller. LX
Killer.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. How you doing? All right. Gorillas and Guns is in here. Steve Dave, also Midnight Range TM, Caviar Hound. You threw me off, Walter.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
So there we go. Okay. Chris Bullis, Brian Quick. Let me see who else. Gerald Loafers says hello all. Hashtag jazz hands. You know, we forget the hashtags. So you guys got to throw hashtags up in there when you're doing this. You know, hashtag not 1 inch.
No.
That's a good one. We need to keep that one going. Let's see. Adam Paul, Jeremy Helmick, Exhale is in here. He says he's early for a change. LV Louis Cypher, Robert McRae, All Thumbs, DCG 44s, Always Chamber, DC2 Mega Boost, the Archangel. What's going on, Archangel? And let's see. Meatloaf Sandwich, Ron and Ron. I think I said Screaming Skull Saloon, but I will say it again. Tango Hunter, Victor Cordovez says hello, everyone. And Plagueis Slim. He says, we are live, jazz hands. So there you go. Let's see who else. Treadhead 44. I think I got Mr. FNH and Friends. What's going on? Rising Tides Outdoors. Shyster Magoo. Flavishard 2. Let's see here. Greg 98K. And Judd Miller, SoCal Gunner, Cody Phillips, Devin Brown. I think I've got Rod Brady, Kenneth K, Nick of Earth, Nightmare 03, Cyrus 308, Glenn E Bowling, and these are just going real fast. Alan Patty says hello. So Robert Wicks and Efrain Rodriguez Jr. If I miss someone, just let me know. I'll still shout you out, but I just wanted to get through that. Okay, so you know what? Let's actually talk to the guys from Gulf Coast Gun. Walter, I don't think you have any objections to that.
No, go for it, man.
Yeah, let's talk to Chris and Casey here, and have Chris and Casey. You know, why don't you guys tell us what happened? You know, what's your story? What happened here with Facebook?
Well, Hank, after everything happened with the shooting, we gave it a little time to cool off, unlike some of the politicians out there. And my wife is actually a teacher at a local school here in Santa Rosa County, and I've always had a problem with her not being able to conceal carry. You know, she can't even have one in her car when she can't even leave it in her car on campus. She get fired if it's left there. She goes and picks our kids up after school, and you know, she's unprotected. But I've always had a problem with that. So, you know, we heard all the talk about arming the teachers and everything else. So we decided that we were going to contribute. There's always a problem in Santa Rosa County with the teachers not having enough money, enough funding to do anything. So there's about 30 schools or so in Santa Rosa County. And we just put the offer out there on Facebook to donate 2 concealed carry guns for every school in Santa Rosa County. Did a Facebook post like we normally do. We do a lot of Facebook videos. It got up to around 20,000 people up there. I'm checking the comments on Saturday night, and all of a sudden I get a thing from Facebook saying that we had violated their policy and they were shutting us down.
Wow. Okay. And this is just, so do you know that this is because of your offer that you made to donate the guns, or what? Did you guys do anything? Have you ever done anything to get in trouble with Facebook before?
Yes, Facebook has shut us down before. We gave away an AR-15 during the Trump election. They shut us down for that. We had not done any posts in probably a couple of weeks. They didn't give us any, they didn't give us any reason why they shut us down besides we violated policy, and that was the only post we had done in 2 weeks. So the other posts were just, our normal basic post on sales or anything like that, and none of them had ever calls for alarm. Usually when we start talking politics or gun rights or something like that, that's when Facebook decides to shut us down. Like I said, they shut us down for a week when we took our post down for trying to give away an AR-15 during the Trump election for everybody that shared our video to support Trump. So.
Oh, okay. So they're watching you guys then.
Oh, they're absolutely watching us. They shut us down a lot of times, and we've gathered a decent amount of followers on Facebook. We do a lot of giveaways. We joke around about stuff. They'll promote any other page, any other business page that's selling their product, but as soon as we try to help the community with our product, they shut us down. And I mean, this is a social media site. It's a place where people go talk about things like this, give their opinions. They're offering a service to put our business's page out there, but as soon as we legally put out what we're doing, they want to shut us down. So
yeah, because I'm what's so wrong about this? As you're saying, there's lots of companies that give away things and give free things away to people. What's wrong with you giving away guns?
That's what I'm saying too. It's not like we're going out and handing guns to anybody off the street. If they have to go through a background check to get them from us. It's a whole lot safer to come through us to get a firearm when we're giving them away than anybody off the street. So I don't really understand it. We're going by every law. Florida just changed a bunch of laws that we really don't agree with, but we're going by all those laws. So I don't understand why Facebook can't respect the business that we're in, why they even give us a page if they want to shut us down anytime we promote anything having to do with firearms. So when we made the offer, we said that we coordinated with our local sheriff's department. I talked to Sheriff Bob Johnson of Santa Rosa County, and he said that he would train the teachers. And that was one of the conditions of me donating the firearms, was training the teachers that would carry them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it wasn't like we were sitting there telling them to arm every teacher in Santa Rosa County, that whether they want to be armed or not, or have any training or not. You know, there's lots of former military, there's lots of former law enforcement at these schools that work there. There shouldn't be any problem with that. But, you know, Facebook always goes to their politics, and that's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey, I see that you look like you want to jump in there. Go ahead.
Well, I was just about to say what Chris had said, that we were in the process of getting all the training ready to go. We're going to have them come in and you know, do all the proper paperwork, everything legal. We were donating 2 guns per school out of the shop's pocket. It's we weren't asking for anything except to try to make some schools safer. He has kids in school, I have kids in school, so we were just trying to do it from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, listen, this is happening. It happened to us a couple of weeks ago that we had the whole channel killed off. It's happening on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's happening on YouTube. It's happening everywhere that social media exists, which is everywhere. So, you know, and obviously we can see that this is a direct attack on freedom. Everything that we're doing here, like you guys said, it's legal. It's guaranteed by the Constitution. You know, even what you're talking about doing, it's something like you said, there's this, we put this bill into effect here in Florida. I think the bill sucks. I don't agree with any part of it. There's supposed to be a part of it, though, to protect schools, right? Although I think they basically neutered it. I think what happened is that that's what they put in there to get the Republicans to go whole hog into this thing. But I don't think that the Republicans that were looking at this even considered all the other things in the bill, much less the fact that they really neutered it, because ultimately the sheriffs of the counties can counteract all of this stuff and say, hell no, I'm not going to let the teachers be armed here, which, you know, the particular county in question with the incident that happened in Lakeland, that sheriff already came out and said he wouldn't do it. But you know, besides that, what's happening is that the people that own these social media outlets that we all have to depend on, I don't know whether or not you guys think they should be utilities, but we have to depend on them because that's how we all communicate today, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So these guys are using, you know, they have their own social agenda, the people that run these places.
No. Really?
Yes, they do.
No, really?
Yeah,
absolutely.
They don't. They believe in free speech and all that stuff. Come on.
No, they don't.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, no, they don't. And they definitely don't. You know, I think they all say that they want the children to be safe and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think that's really what they want. They're using this against us, and you guys are seeing that. First of all, actually, I wanted to let me give a shout out to someone here. There's someone who asked me to give them a shout out. So GP357, shout out to you. He says, what's a brother got to do to get a shout out? So there you go. You got the shout out. So when this happened to you guys, did you communicate with anyone at Facebook? Did they tell you anything? Did they send you anything in writing to explain what's going on here?
No, they wouldn't allow me to do anything. People were coming in our store, you know, they're used to seeing my smiling face on Facebook all the time. And they were coming in our store and telling me, they've taken your page down. We can't do anything. The only thing we got when I tried to log on or do anything was that we had violated the Facebook policies. It said, go to Facebook policies to read Facebook policies. And as you know, there's a list a mile long of Facebook policies that, I mean, apparently we were being treated like we were terrorists on there for offering to make our schools safer.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, who said this? Someone said socialist media.
Yeah, well,
more like it. I missed. Okay, let's see. Oh, I found it. Okay, 255 Placider says socialist media. So I think it's pretty much like that. How long have you guys been on Facebook? I'm just curious.
We've been on Facebook for probably 2.5 years with our page now. Our page got really popular around election time. We got pretty vocal about keeping Hillary Clinton out of the White House. So, you know, that's when we got real vocal, and we started gaining a lot of popularity, and we saw Facebook was watching us and shutting us down every now and then. The week-long suspension's probably been the longest that we've had. Normally it's for 2 or 3 days. I don't back down, Hank. When they're probably going to take me off eventually for good. So we're trying to look at other things besides Facebook. When they shut us down for a week, I normally come back with a video making fun of them. So they've been caught tons of times, feeding stories to people, blocking conservative stories and ideas and news and putting leftist news out there. This has been in the media over and over, and yet they continue to do this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you guys want to tell us, like, real quick, how long have you actually had the store? What's the background of the store? What made you get into guns, selling guns, etc.?
The store's been open about 3.5 years now. We just opened up as a small pawn shop here in Milton, Florida. It turned into a gun shop. We're almost just strictly a gun shop now. We expanded our store. Actually working. We should be opening up with our expansion, 2,000 square feet, and our website. We have a big website we're releasing in about a month. GulfCoastGun.com. It's not active yet, but it's going to be a big website that we're doing. It's just, the community here in Milton and Pace area, close to Pensacola, they've kind of stuck with us. They kind of have the same values that we do, and so we've grown really fast in the last 3 years. Okay, and what do you guys think about what's happening with the laws that we were talking about here in Florida? What do you think about it? What's your interpretation? Are you seeing an effect of that already?
Did the Republicans up there fold?
Yeah, one of the Republicans up here did fold. I've been very vocal on Facebook about it too. As soon as they let us back on, one of the senators, Doug Broxson, he actually came out completely for this bill, talking about what a good start it is and everything. I don't know how he can call himself a Republican. We actually had, I know you guys are in the gun business too, we actually had a customer purchase a AR-15 on the Monday before the bill got written into law. He got a conditional non-approval. Normally, after a 3 business day wait period, he can come back and pick the firearm up, whether they give him an approval or not. This customer his name has been confused with someone else. He's had trouble getting on airplanes and things like that just because his name is like someone else's. I know a lot of people aren't familiar with cases like this in the gun business. You get a little more familiar with it. But he came in to pick his firearm up on Saturday, which normally he has a legal right to do, and FDLE had completely wiped the transaction out and said decision pending. We no longer can release him that firearm. He's been on hold for 2 weeks now.
Whoa. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. By the way, Walter, let's see who said this. I'm going to go back. EOM Production says, "Why is the old guy always eating?"
Because I'm hungry, that's why.
Yeah, let me explain that real quick. This is because Walter came home from working, from building guns, and he's here joining us. This is his dinner time with us. So, yeah, we're not complaining.
Well, if you want to, I'm having some steak, basically, and potatoes. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I actually didn't eat because I was busy doing something. So I'm very hungry, and you're not helping.
Oh well.
Walter.
That's life.
So chew quietly.
I'll try. I'll mute if I get too loud.
Yeah. So, so you guys, so the whole, because I think immediately, what is it that immediately went into effect? Is it the age ban?
The age ban went into immediate effect the next Saturday. They actually shut down FDLE at 5 o'clock on Friday, 5 o'clock our time. We couldn't sell any firearms. Saturday morning, we opened it back up. No explanation. There's a little thing saying that new laws had went into effect on FDLE's website that we run background checks on. Age ban went into effect. The 3-day wait period on long guns. I mean, you can buy 22 Cricket single shot, and you got a 3-day wait. Now, a concealed weapons permit will bypass this, but we all know that concealed weapons permit's $112. So I don't think I'm thinking that a few finance senators and congressmen got in on that one. That went into effect, and the no releasing without a completed decision went into effect. Now they will not give you any decision on anyone, whether it takes a month for them to purchase a firearm or not. If they don't have a completed decision, then we can't release the firearm anymore. Before, there was a three-day window. If they couldn't come up with a decision on someone or do their due diligence in 3 days, the Patriot Act protected them. Well, Florida is actually going against federal law on this and not letting us release the gun after a 3 business day wait period.
So what happens in that case? And I don't know, this person that you were talking about that always winds up on the list and has issues, is he under the age restriction?
No, he is actually in his 50s.
Okay. So
very, very, very upstanding citizen. I know him very well. He's never had any legal issues. I know the gentleman personally, and he there's just a name confusion. His name is the same as someone that's committed a crime, and FDLE can't figure out whether or not they can release the firearm to him or not. Before, they would get back within that 3 days, so you wouldn't release a firearm to somebody. Now it's looking like they don't really care because they're a little overwhelmed.
I see.
It's not the folks at FDLE's fault. They got these laws got thrown at them just like the rest of us. And the problem is there's some explanations that we don't know. Like if someone comes up with if someone normally was going to get delayed or a CN, a conditional non-approval, it would pop up there. We could tell that person, hey man, we'll give you a call, or you can come back within 3 business days and pick this up when it gets done with the 3-day waiting period. Well, now they don't even give us a time frame. We don't know if somebody's sitting here because they're backed up, or if somebody's sitting here because they're going to put them on a delay. So somebody could sit here for 2 hours waiting on a gun that they're not going to be able to get for a week.
And even though this gentleman's name is familiar, or there's another person out with his name, he put down on the form his social security number. So there really shouldn't be an issue, but he's been sitting there for 2 weeks and he can't even pick up his firearm.
Yeah. So I was going to ask about that. A couple of things I want to know. First of all, what do you guys do in a situation like this? After a certain period of time, can this person get their money back, or what is the deal with that if you're stuck in this kind of limbo?
Oh, absolutely give him his money back. I'm not going to, keep someone's money because they're having problems with the government. He wants his firearm, Right. There was a reason he came in and purchased the firearm. He's been very, very reasonable about waiting on it. But the problem is this bill is just it's taken an inch. They're going a little further and a little further and a little further. I mean, it sounds cliche, but what about an 18 or 19-year-old that lives on their own? They can't go purchase a shotgun to protect their home. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, let's go ahead, Walter.
I'm just agreeing. That's all.
Yeah. How many 18 to 21-year-olds do we have in Florida? I'm just curious.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, like, what's weird to me, we could pick apart this thing in lots of different ways, but all of a sudden in Florida, 18 to 19, 20 years old, you're not an adult anymore, but that's bullshit. There's lots of 18, 19, 20-year-olds out there that, I've actually, I've heard some communications with some of these Republicans that voted for this, and they said, yeah, but you know what? They can still get gifted a gun, right? So technically someone, you know, like a parent or someone can still give them a gun. What if they don't have that? How many people are out there on their own? How many people are living out? You know, Florida is a huge place, believe it or not. People, I don't know if these guys realize that. And there's still wild places here. You still have reasons why you would want to defend yourself for lots, you know, against creatures, against people. And they've just all of a sudden put all kinds of people into this category. There's 20-year-old single mothers out there. There's 19-year-olds that are in school and maybe living in a bad neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. It was bad enough that they couldn't have handguns to defend themselves. Now they can't have any kind of guns. Go ahead, guys.
Hank, I mean, the problem there is you can still get gifted a gun. So all they've done is take away from these 18 to 20-year-olds the right to buy a gun with a background check. They can still go get a gun from someone without a background check legally. So, I mean, we signed the bill.
But listen, remember what you said before, and even Governor Scott said in his statement when he signed this is just the beginning.
Absolutely. We're all in agreement there. This is just the beginning. They're going to go further with this. If we don't step up, they're going to go further federally too.
Yeah. And what if you don't have that parent? You know, to me, this is some kind of like in lots of ways, this is kind of classism. What if you don't have that parent that can gift you something?
Yeah, that's completely true. But on the other hand, what if you're taking away the right of a law-abiding citizen? Now some psycho is going to go out there and buy one without a background check just because that's the only means for him to get one. If he would have came in here to purchase one, we run the background check and he fails it, then our local Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Department, if there is a denial, they look into it immediately. They are very good about that. So why would we deny 18 to 20-year-olds a way of purchasing a firearm that they're going to have to actually go through a background check? That you know, there's so many holes in this new bill that's absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, these kids are out marching and they don't understand that they're marching to have their rights taken away. They'll understand in a few years.
Yeah, go ahead, Walter. As I say, they're being used like a Trojan.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone in the chat I saw said they're using them as human shields. I don't think they understand. I mean, these are the same kids that have already said or will say sometime close in the future here how the police, for example, are killing them. Well, you want to only be protected by the police. I am not saying that the police are killing them. You know, what I'm saying is if you have to be responsible for your own safety. You're giving up that responsibility and leaving it on the government. And yeah, guess what? One day when the government is the only one that has the guns, you are their slave.
Yep.
That's what happens. And for children out there who are doing this and being led by their teachers and other people in society to do this, those people who are pushing you in this direction, they are setting you up for slavery. Okay, they're setting you up for abuse in America. Go ahead, Chris.
Absolutely, that's what we've been saying the whole time. I mean, they're using these kids and this tragedy to take away a little right. Every time we see one of these things happen, you see a little right get taken away, a little right here and a little right there. And I mean, eventually, of course, these politicians want gun control. They want control of everything. The more regulations they put on us, the more corrupt they can be without anyone touching them.
Yeah. Now I see. Let me hit a comment here. Carolina EDC Reviews says, "What about those 18 to 20-year-olds in the National Guard or military given a gun to fight for our country, but no right to protect themselves in their own country?" So Florida did exempt people in that case, but here's the problem. If you are an 18, 19, 20-year-old and you are in the National Guard and you get this exemption, what makes you different from any other 18, 19, 20-year-old? What, you're only those special people can be protected and these people over here can't? Anytime we do this, that's what we're creating.
Or what about the 18, 19, 20-year-old that's going to college so they can become an officer in the military? They're not in the military yet, so they just don't have a legal right to buy a firearm yet.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? I mean, I think ultimately you're taking away. If we either have to decide you're an adult or you're not an adult. I believe you're an adult way before you get to 18 years old, personally. And if any 18, 19-year-olds in Florida, they're adults as far as I'm concerned. They have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to the Second Amendment. You can't just blanketly take this away from people based on age, and then you're setting up something where you could keep pushing that age up. You know, why are we even allowing that? You know, yes, there's exemptions, but I think that, you know, it's insane that you're going to take these rights away from 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And by the way, you know, someone was reminding me of this today. No due process. These guys just made a law. The governor just signed it. And blanketly, an 18, 19, 20-year-old has been deemed ineffective in our society and not worthy of being able to defend themselves. And we're just like, yeah, okay. And then they're out there marching like, yay, this is awesome.
Well, I mean, the problem there is if you're old enough to vote, and I know they put the exception in for the military, but you're old enough to vote. You're old enough to vote these people in. Why are you not old enough to defend yourself? I guarantee you, if they tell these kids they're not old enough to vote anymore at 18, 19, and 20, we'd hear a different story.
But that's what we should do then. But that's what we should do. If they're not responsible, if they cannot be responsible for their own safety, then let's tell them they also are not responsible enough to vote.
Well, the Democrats are never going to do that, my friend. Never, ever, ever going to do that.
Yeah, I've noticed that's never on the table to take away the vote.
No. They want those. My son's 18. He's a senior in high school. I voted for Reagan when I was a senior in high school, to tell you, 1980. But yeah, they're never going to do that because they know that that's before kids have to pay taxes and stuff. So they're real liberal, and they're real like, oh, save the world, you know, until they have to pay taxes and they go, the world sucks.
Yeah. Until you get your first paycheck and you're counting all that money and all the Mercedes and Rolexes you're going to buy. And then you go, wait a second, what is this thing called withholding tax?
When you work past that point and you make too much money and you don't get any refund that year, you go, what happened?
Yeah. Who is FICA and why is he taking all my money?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. But that's just one part of it. There's so many parts of this bill that have problems. And I mean, let me see. I'm going to pull up a picture that I took just to, you know, to remind myself of what's going on here. Okay. So one of the things that happened, they put, you know what? It's amazing how they squeezed all this stuff into this bill. So they made it easier now to seize firearms and even take away your concealed carry from you. So if a neighbor or someone, you know, you could be getting divorced and someone could go out there and say, I think this guy's crazy. He's got a whole bunch of guns. They will come take your guns, take your ammo. And
most likely that's anonymous too, which is a bad thing because then you can't face your accuser. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's part of the problem we're seeing. We're getting older guys that are, that's fine. They're not smart enough to make decisions anyway. The 18 to 20-year-olds, that's all they did. And we're like, no, that's not all they did. They actually made it easier for them to confiscate your guns. The problem is the public doesn't know everything that's in this bill. They snuck this thing in here and they threw it on Republicans as arming teachers, and they threw it on the Democrats as, I mean, the Democrats got way more out of this than the Republicans even got close to getting. And either the problem is the Republicans that voted for this either didn't read the bill or they didn't care. Either way, they either didn't do their job or they didn't do their job to protect our rights. I think we should vote them all out.
And any way you look at it, if like you said, a neighbor, an ex-girlfriend, an ex-boyfriend says you're crazy, they'll take your guns without due process. And then you have to wait until they decide to give them back.
You're guilty until proven innocent.
Right. And they're not going to tell you who accused you either. I guarantee you that. They're not going to say, hey, your ex accused you of doing that. No, they ain't going to do that. No.
Yeah. You know, someone's reminding me of 1932. I'm assuming they're talking about Nazis taking guns.
That was in 34.
Oh, or yeah.
The Nazis came to power in 33. 33 or 34, I think, in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always happens. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So, you know, and the thing I was going to say about making it easier to make these claims against people, how does that person defend themselves against that? So have you seen the government take things from you and then very easily give you those things back?
No, you never. Once the government takes something away, it's literally an act of Congress to get it back, and Congress doesn't give back stuff.
And that's why 18 to 20-year-olds are probably never going to see their gun rights reinstated again.
Never. Not unless they push back on this in Florida. I know that there's people challenging it, but I'm telling you, young people, you are setting yourselves up for destruction. You know, I was talking to a young guy here, and he's not heavy into guns. You know, he's learning about this because he's working with me, and he was looking at one of the videos, and he said, you know, wait a second, this is crazy. These people are really saying that I don't have a right to protect myself and defend myself. And he's like, I feel like the world's going to fall apart here. You know, who says, like, who is it making that claim that I don't have the right to do this? Well, I'm telling you, if you give it up and you don't fight for it, yes, you'll never get it back. And it's the same thing here. If someone says, I think this guy's crazy, he's got a bunch of guns, they come take your guns, take your ammo and all that kind of stuff. How are you going to get that back? You're going to have to get a lawyer. You're going to have to fight this. Okay. How the hell? I mean, do you think a lawyer out there is going to say, you know what? I'm going to take that pro bono. I'm going to take that case, and if we don't win, we won't charge you.
The only thing he's going to take is pro bono to your backside. That's what he's going to do.
It's a financial attack on your rights. And a lot of people who are agreeing with this, a lot of people out there in society who are saying this is okay, they don't realize that they're the ones who are going to suffer the most. And I'm just telling you, minorities, people who are socioeconomically challenged, those are the people who are going to suffer the most.
Are you talking about the poor folk?
Yeah, we can.
Poor folk. That's what he used to call them.
Yeah, we can
call them poor folk.
Yeah, exactly. But that's who's going to suffer here, man. What are you going to be able to do when people are making these kind of claims against you?
Well, and that can go. You don't have to be rich to be accused. You could be the poor folk, because there's a lot of poor folk that got lots of guns.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know, they might be in a double wide or a single wide, excuse me, with flat tires, but you know, it all go away the same way.
Oh, wait a second. So if you have a double wide, then you got money?
Oh, well, you know.
I'm trying to understand.
You got to step up to the triple for that.
Yeah, there you go. 2-story triple wide. Yeah.
Is there a quadruple wide yet?
I don't know. Probably. You can order anything if you got money.
Okay. Yeah. So, by the way, we have 200 thumbs ups. I know we can get to 300. We have
300 watching, man.
Yeah, we have 300 people right now. So please give us those thumbs ups and get it going. All right. We really appreciate that. Yeah, I think that just that law alone is incredibly egregious.
Well,
and the fact that we allowed that part of that, you know, I'm telling you, these guys, if you really knew what happened inside here, these guys rushed this whole thing through. Keith Perry, that's from my district, he could have stopped this. He could have actually stopped all this from going through, and they rushed it through because they knew that if we looked at this, we would say
Hank, no. We don't have time to read it. You know, it's like Obamacare. We don't have time to read that. We have to pass it first, then we'll figure out what's in it, right?
And that's the problem. They passed it through. It kicked in on Saturday. We have yet to hear anything from them about what we need to do on our side. I think all FFLs in Florida are pretty much flying by the seat of our pants.
Well, because they don't know what they're going to do. You know, I mean, the people that enforce that stuff or like FDLE and all that, they weren't involved with this, really. It wasn't their fight.
Well, and they don't know what they're going to do, but don't you think this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. There's going to be more laws coming at us where they define what are they going to do here. Let's look at the bump stock part of this, right? That's batshit crazy, because it's not just bump stocks, which I don't think, you know, I'm not a huge fan. Lots of people say they're not huge fans. Okay, bump stocks, but they still have the right to exist. It's not a machine gun, but no. They classified anything that is that changes the rate of fire, any tool, any device. That's pretty widespread. And I think we can ask these guys, we got these guys, you guys sell guns. How many people come in there and buy a rifle or a handgun and change the trigger?
I'd say at least half, maybe more.
they're changing the trigger, but honestly, the problem is no one cares about the bump stock. But that's the problem, because they're not going to stop with bump stocks. They're not going to stop with triggers that change the rate of fire. And anybody that's ever shot one of these things knows that you can't use these things as a fully automatic weapon.
Half the people that use them can't make them work.
Yeah, but it's, so the thing is that, okay, so here's the thing. Have you ever rode the reset on a standard trigger in anything, in a Glock, in a rifle, an AR-15? When I shoot it, there's lots of people who go, "What are you shooting, like full auto or something like that?" I'm not Jerry Miculek. At some point here, they're going to add on to this that even a standard trigger is not enough. This is another case of being just the beginning. They're going to set a rate of fire for people. We're just not seeing that yet.
Well, like in Massachusetts, they have what, a 10-pound trigger there. That's what you're going to see everywhere else. Is you're gonna have 10-pound triggers that you're trying to pull.
Everybody's gonna bump up to a 15-pound trigger.
Is that a binary, Walter?
No, well, not this one, but
yeah. Well,
this is a CZ805. I'm gonna make a stock for, but no, this thing's got, I don't know what. Oh, this thing's got.
How's the trigger on it?
Long.
Yeah,
but it's a military gun, so it's not designed to.
The rate of fire, even the whole thing about the rate of fire, it's like, what do you want to make the rate of fire? At some point, it's going to get whittled down to 0. You can have a gun, but it cannot fire in 2 days. For you to pull that trigger, it has to take you 2 days to actually pull the trigger. I mean, because a freaking bolt action can do a lot of destruction and a lot of damage in the hands of the wrong person. The problem that we have here is that people, aren't doing anything to identify the wrong people. And
it's funny. We just had a customer come in today, and one of the first things she said, she looked at the ARs and she says, "Man, they look scary." And that just opened up a conversation. And we said, well, yeah, that looks scary, and people want to ban them because they're so powerful. I said, there's states where you can't hunt with an AR because the round is so small. I said, but Grandpa's 30-06, that's a whole different ballgame.
Mosin will make that 223 look sick. So
yeah, and that doesn't scare any of them because
unless you put the bayonet on the end. Oh my God!
There you go.
Then it's scary.
Now it's an assault bayonet.
Yeah. And how many people? That was the funniest thing about the old assault weapons ban, about bayonets and all that stuff. How many people ever been killed with a bayonet on the end of a rifle in the United States of America during peacetime?
I'd like to see the numbers on that one.
It's probably 0, but that doesn't matter. It's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go, because I know that these guys have a limited time here.
That's right.
Now, the mandatory 3-day waiting period for everyone, except if you guys touched on that earlier, except if you have a concealed weapons permit. What do you think that's going to do to impulse buys in the store?
I mean, we see it at gun shows. If they go, where you go to a gun show and you don't have to run a background check, which is completely false if anyone that's ever been to one. But we see it at gun shows all the time. They'll want to buy one if we're at a gun show in South Florida. Of course, we're in the Panhandle. Then, they don't have a concealed weapons permit. They couldn't take home the handgun that day. They're like, yeah, man, I don't want to wait on it. I don't want to wait. I wanted it. I wanted to take it home. I want to go shoot it on Sunday. It's Saturday. I want to go out and shoot on Sunday. You have a right to own a firearm. There's nothing in the Constitution says that you have to wait and cool off before you can purchase a firearm. And the silliest part is you can only cool off during the week. You can't cool off on the weekend.
You
can't cool off on holidays either.
National holiday, you can't cool off on it.
We've had all the waiting period stuff down here forever, so it's nothing new for us. Because as soon as they gave that back to the counties, Pinellas and Hillsborough did it immediately. So you know, that's just been the fact of life around here for a long time.
So you don't think that's going to have an effect on sales?
It doesn't. Like at a gun show, it does, yes. But in a shop, not so much.
Well, if it's all over the state now, I think it's going to definitely have an effect. I mean, you've got to be really committed to this thing in order to buy it. And then you've got to be committed to the point that, you know, you've got to be committed to the point that
in the big scheme of things, the waiting period in this whole bill thing is pretty minor. In the bigger scheme of things, that's what, you know.
The problem I have with the waiting period is, I mean, if someone is in danger and actually needs something to protect their home, I've seen plenty of women or men or anyone that's you know, had someone stalking them or something like that, and the police do their best, but they're not supposed to infringe on anyone's rights.
That's
so
not their job.
You know, this person has to wait a week. They end up waiting a week after weekends to get a firearm in their home, and anything can happen to them in that week period. If you can pass a background check, you can pass a background check. It's not going to change in that 3 days. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where this cool off period came from. It probably happened twice in the history of the United States where someone went and purchased a handgun before they cooled off to kill someone. So
yeah, I think that someone is saying in the chat, which I believe is true, that in this case the guy waited a year.
Yeah, he didn't do it. It wasn't a motion filled purchase. He bought it and he had it for a while. So.
And I've been selling guns probably about 9 years total, and I've heard countless times people come in and they're like, "Well, we had somebody break in last night, and my wife is scared, or my kids are scared. I just want to pick up something, you know, that I can protect my home with." And they'll pass the background check, but now they have to wait, and they're going to go home even more scared now than they were before.
Yeah. So here, you know, in the time that you guys have left here before you go, you know, what would you, if you could talk, obviously we know what the Democrats and people on the liberal side of things were going to do. You know, what would you say to the Republicans out there that did support this bill, that did push it through? What would you say to those guys if you had the opportunity?
Start looking for another job.
Exactly.
Absolutely, start looking for another
Keep your
job.
options. Keep your options.
I would say stop using this tragedy and these kids to pass gun control agendas. I mean, they're using these kids to take away our rights, and they know they're using these kids. It's really sad. The kids don't know that they're using them. They think that these politicians are there for them. They think they're there for their safety, but you know, as you get older, like us, that's when you turn more conservative, because you've seen what these politicians can do, and you know, these guys, anybody that voted for this new bill in Florida is not a true conservative, not a true Republican. They are they're leaning a lot further left than their constituents know.
So what would you like to see happen when these people either re-seek their office that they're in or seek higher office?
Coup d'etat.
I'd love to see them all voted out. Everybody send them a message. We get the messages in here every day. They come in here, and since the new bill passed, and they vent to us, and I tell them to call your congressman, call your governor, tell them what's going to happen the next time they run for re-election. I mean, they think they're going to hide behind. They think they're going to hide behind that they're a Republican, and they're just going to vote. We're going to vote them in because they're a Republican. Vote them out in the primaries. I mean, there's no reason for them to just automatically get the seat. Go. That's part of the problem too, is the primaries aren't quite as advertised as the.
Well, so what I'm hearing is that you know, because obviously the Republican Party runs this side of it, and they're not planning on challenging these guys in the primary. So you really won't have that option. And what they believe in there is this: if we only have the option of these guys and a Democrat, then we're going to choose these guys and put them back into office. And I'll tell you right now, I would rather have the Democrat. You know why? When we have those people, we fight more. But because these guys put this into effect, there's nothing that tells me that this is where they're going to stop. You know, they're going to keep going. There's nothing that's good that's going to make me believe that if I vote for them over a Democrat getting into that position, that they're going to go, oh, you know what? We're going to stop here and we're not going to do any more of this. They're going to keep doing it.
My son said they're hiding behind dead kids, and that's the truth.
And that is the truth. And I'm on the same page with you, Hank, on, you know, Doug Broxson in our area, I've made it very vocal that that we're gonna oppose him and
do everything in your power.
We're gonna do everything in our power to get him out of there. But hey, if you guys are local and you're Republican and your representative voted for this bill, find somebody to challenge them. You know, if we vote all the Democrats in, we're still going to have the same problems. I hope that's not the route we have to go. I hope people will step up and challenge these guys when it comes primary time, because they need to go. They're not representing our values.
Yeah. But just be aware. I'm telling you guys right now, just be aware that the Republican Party is not going to support anyone challenging these guys. That's what's going to happen here. The Republican Party in Florida, I'm just trying to tell you guys the reality. You know, I'm not pulling this out of thin air. The Republican Party in Florida is not going to support challenges to these guys. Ultimately, what we need back the Tea Party here in Florida.
Needs to be a coup d'etat.
Yeah, we need to totally I'm telling you, man, the Republican Party should not exist. It's a fallacy. It's a joke. It's no different from the Democratic Party. It's like freaking WWF wrestling. Okay, we need like actual conservatives, actual people that believe in the you know, in the Constitution, that are willing to stand up for the Constitution. The Republican Party is not on our side, people. They don't give a crap about, you know, what's going on here. They're thinking that they're gonna put these people and shove them right down our throat, even though they just stabbed us all in the back.
You're absolutely right. We need to see more people just run as an independent and challenge some of these guys. If they can't get in on the primary, I mean, run as an independent. The Republican Party is always going to stand by its incumbents. They don't want to see them voted out. But, you know, the reality is, as we've seen it all before, the longer these guys stay in office, the more corrupt they get, and the further left they go, because it benefits them.
Yeah, and I hate to say this. I know Walter's not going to like this.
What's that?
But I'm telling you, we were better. We were tighter. We stood together more. We fought harder when we had Obama in the White House. And I never voted for him, not once. The thought never even crossed my mind to vote for him. But we fought more when he was in the White House than we're doing right now.
This country is in such a shitty position right now because of him worldwide. And then all the stuff in the country, all the little, you know, the demoralization of the country, so to speak, as I call it.
Yeah.
So, no.
But listen, I don't want him back. I'm just telling you, like, what happened to our fight? What happened? What happened to that fight that we had? Why are we?
I think everybody just got relaxed. Everybody got relaxed and said, "Well, we got Trump in, and everything's going to be hunky dory and fine." And they stopped fighting. I saw that here. People stopped buying guns because they were like, "Oh, we're good. I got 4 years now. We're good." But now they're realizing that that's not the case.
Yeah. Do they realize that Trump ordered the ATF to rewrite the machine gun laws? That's basically what happened. Okay, and that's coming out, by the way, people. Okay, the rewrite bump stocks, triggers, rate increasing devices are going to get added to the machine gun rules.
Well, the problem with those rules is they're going to be up for interpretation. So it's whoever's enforcing them is going to be interpret them any way that they want. And that's the problem with a lot of these laws is, you know, they're only going to be enforced on people that they want them enforced on. And you know, they're taking they're making it so vague as an interpretation, and they can dwindle it down to taking away almost anything. Like you said earlier, Hank, you put a new trigger in almost every one of your guns, and people think sometimes you're firing fully auto. So where's it going to stop?
No, I'm talking. No, people feel that when I'm just firing a standard trigger. All you have to do is ride the reset. And the thing that's going to happen, and people don't realize this, and like you said half the people out there do it. I agree with you. It's at least half the people in Florida that have changed the triggers on handguns and rifles. And then on October 1st, even if you are in law enforcement, you're a police officer, whatever the hell you could be in the National Guard, whatever. I'm not saying that those people have those things in their duty guns. They have it in their own personal guns. So half of us in Florida pretty much is going to be everyone, because I think everyone out there that has more than 2 guns has probably changed the trigger in one of those guns that they have. We are going to become felons. They haven't even put in here because amazingly, we are going to have to just destroy these things or turn them in somewhere, and they haven't even figured any of that out.
No. No turning in, no destroying, period.
Yeah, and then if you're found with that thing, you are now a 3rd-degree felon.
That thing, yeah. No turning in.
Well, yeah, that piece of plastic that moves back and forth.
They're willing to ruin people's lives over a bump stock or a trigger, and that's what's going to happen, because you know as well as I do that that 90% of these half that's replaced their trigger aren't going to turn them in or destroy them, especially after they've spent $400 or $500.
First thing, 99.9% of these people don't even know that this thing passed. Just like I said about the street sweeper shotgun back in the 90s. 90% of the people didn't even know it was turned into a DD. So they go to a gun show with it and they try to sell it. Boom. Or they go to a gun shop. Hey, man, you want to buy my street sweeper? And you go, run. Get out of here, quick. You know, it's like, so it's one of these deals where it's going to be, yes, if you get stopped, I know you could get, but not. First thing, the average trigger change in an AR-15, the average, it's undetectable. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I just don't see this. There's not going to be the Gestapo out going on trigger searches. I mean, that part of it's unenforceable.
I think because it's undetectable, you could not have changed something in your gun, and then you could.
So if I file the edge on it, just round the edge, I just became a 3rd-degree felon?
No, but what I'm saying to you, what if you didn't change anything? What if you bought the gun, you didn't change anything, you have it, you get pulled over, and you have a zealous police officer that goes, you know what, I think you changed this.
Well,
now it's you're not a felon.
Once again, the what if thing. You can't figure the what if out.
Okay. I could tell you something.
I'm not for
I have lived through what you're saying is just a what if. I have lived through it, and so have lots of people around here.
I understand that.
Yeah. So
it's just one more thing of us giving our rights away. Just for a little bit.
It'll be attacked in the courts, and that's what will happen. I mean, I know there's no other way to do it. You can say you're gonna vote these people out. Great, you'll vote them out. The new guy, if there's one new guy, guess what? There's one new guy, and he ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
No. Listen, I think we could totally reverse this, but we have to push back. We have to get mad. We have to push back.
I agree.
Like a 19-year-old out there has to step up and say that the state has no right to deny them of the ability to purchase a firearm. People have to challenge this and push back on it, and you have to make sure that Rick Scott particularly never gets another. He's going to have to move out of the state of Florida, go to California or something like that to get into office anywhere, because I'm telling you, I will make a video every single day about his ass.
He'll just pull a Charlie Crist. That's all he'll do.
And you saw what happened to Charlie Crist. He can't get elected dog catcher right now.
Well, because he's played every card there is, and he's got shit on every time. So
I honestly, I don't think Rick Scott cares. I think he's got higher aspirations. I think he's going. He thinks he's going to Washington.
He wants the Senate seat of the other old guy, the old guy.
But this is what I'm saying. The people who have to elect him to go to Washington on their behalf is us.
Well,
okay, so it's us. If we look at it and if it's only, and I'm telling you, the Republicans are going to put Rick Scott up there. That's what the Republican Party is going to do. And they're going to put him up against, I think Bill Nelson's running again, right?
No, he's not running again.
Oh, okay. So they're going to put him up against whatever Democrat goes there. And then we're going to go, oh my God, we don't want a Democrat going to, because he's already, they're already freaking going. And we're going to go, we don't want, let's get Rick Scott, even though he stabbed us in the back and did this. No, screw that. As far as I'm concerned, I will never, ever support Rick Scott. I don't care who goes to Washington.
Yeah.
Hey, Hank, why don't we get you to run?
I don't know. I don't know if I could run, but hey, whatever, man. You know, if I would run just to stop to slow Rick Scott down and give him a hard time.
It's all about the money. It's all about the money, my friend.
Absolutely. I think we could raise some money for you, Hank.
Then let's do it. What I'm saying to you is let's do it. Let's not let these guys get away with this. You know, because they're looking at they're looking at this and going, you know what, these guys are going to get over this. But when, like, how the hell can you, if you look at this bill and you could get over it, then you just might as well give up your guns, because that's where you're headed.
Well, they used, like we've been saying, they used these kids. These kids marched on Tallahassee. They marched on Washington, the ones from the high school. I have 3 18, 19, and 20-year-olds that work here at our store. Very, very knowledgeable about guns. They know more about firearms than 90% of the customers that walk in here, yet they can't purchase a gun from our store. I blatantly told them the other day, I said, look, nobody's going to stand up for your rights, guys. I'm trying my best, but you guys are going to have to organize. You guys are going to have to get together.
That's what needs to happen. The young people need, through their social media, they need to be organized. I can't do it. I can't get this. I can't get a 19-year-old to listen to me except unless they want something, you know.
I mean, the ones that you pay allowances to.
But you know, they have to get excited about it. You know, okay, they're not going to be 19 forever, but there's, you know, but they got to get those folks fired up. And if you can get that group fired up and get them out to vote, see, the problem is a lot of them don't vote, no matter what they tell you. College kids come voting day are sleeping.
True.
Hey, the guys that work here, that's a requirement on voting day. They get their butt to the polls and
right.
They go vote. They can vote for whoever they want to.
Just go.
I got my opinions, but go vote. But you know, I offered these guys. I said, look, guys, I'll give you a couple of paid days off. Go organize and get some people with the same values as you guys to go do what those kids from Parkland did. Your voice isn't going to get heard. The 50 and 60-year-olds aren't going to stand up for your rights. The 50 and 60-year-olds don't realize they lost rights in this bill.
Well, yeah.
They think they just lost the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, so they really don't care.
Yeah.
I've heard it from older people go, I got my stuff. I don't care.
Yeah. By the way,
Scott, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, Scott Rousseau says, Senator Strange, will you be keeping your mohawk? I'm not getting rid of my mohawk for anything. So, and if I did run for some kind of political office, I'm not changing shit about me. It's way too late for me to do that.
But Hank, would you cut the Capitol building in the side like you do? Would you do that? Capitol on one side, White House on the other?
With some guns. With some guns in there. I mean, I wouldn't and the reason why I say this, I'm not saying that I'm planning on running for anything, but I think that we have to. We could very easily say, oh, you know, someone else has to do that. Then we're screwed. You might as well just give up. We have to start standing up, and we have to start running for things. We have to occupy these offices and not let these idiots that did this stuff to us pretend that they know about the Second Amendment, pretend that they care about the Constitution. We have to do something. If we're not willing to do anything, then we might as well just let them do whatever the hell they want to do. But so that's why I'm saying to you, like, I don't rule those kind of things out. If that's what I have to do to make life difficult for these people, or replace them, or show them what the hell this is really all about, or what it should be about, then that's what I would do. But I'm not changing shit.
Well, you're already making a difference, I can tell you that, Hank, because we had 2 customers come in here a day or two after the Tallahassee march that you guys were doing. Mm-hmm. They walked up to my counter and they said, we saw this guy speak at there, and we told him about your shop, and he gave us your business card. And I said, who was that? He said, oh, it's a guy named Hank. And I looked at your card, and there you were. So you're making a difference already. When 2 customers from little old Milton, Florida will come up here and say that they spoke with you after that event.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Those were some good people that told me about what was going on and what was happening with you guys. And I know it sounded familiar because Casey's been talking to me about it, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I told him, listen, we'll do something about it. So I know you guys don't have a lot of time. You have guns behind you. Let's show some guns. How about that? Walter, are you okay with that?
yeah, rock and roll, man. Rock and roll.
Let's show some guns. I see a sub 2000. Let's see. I'm going to lock it on these guys right here. Let's see what we can tell. I don't know what guns people want to see. I see some kind of baby blue gun back there.
All right, I have a question. I have a question for the guys.
What?
Percentage of your sales, black or traditional hunting type stuff?
Our it's 80% black. It has been since we opened. It's been like that. We're geared. There's other shops in the area that are geared more towards the hunting market. We're normally in the handgun and black gun market, and so I mean ARs has been flying off the shelves in the last 2 weeks.
Price increase or just the normal prices?
We did not increase our prices, Walter. We wanted.
Well, I mean, prices at the wholesale level have went up a little bit, so
they went up. They went up a little bit.
Let's see. By the way, guys, let's see some Gorn while you're talking here. The people want the Gorn. Pull out some guns.
Guns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys might not have seen that, but we call it gun porn, Gorn.
I'm gonna let Casey grab something fun.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Here we
go. Whoa.
Oh, Walter's gonna go get his MPX now. There you go.
It can't be outdone. We got the MPX 9mm here.
Oh, you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that.
Look,
back and get one of mine, man.
We need a new. We need a new brace on there. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Walter can hook you up with those. He's making those.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get with you, Walter.
All right.
And we got the SIG MCX 5.56 with the folding stock here.
They're cool.
Do you have any bullpups?
Yes. We got the Tavor X95s. This is there you go. This is the Savage 6.5 Creedmoor. It's been a big seller lately.
Okay.
Creedmoor's popular.
Oh yeah. Let's grab the X95.
There
you go, man.
Is that OD green?
Have one of these myself. Yeah, we got them in all the colors.
Cool.
OD nice. Green, FDE. The new. We're anxiously waiting on the new Tavor shotgun.
Yeah, the Tavor, the Tab 12.
Yes, that's a lot of fun. Here's the Scorpion with the brace.
Yep.
See the Scorpion Evo pistol. Yeah. This is the new one.
Walter has a brace for that that's coming out.
I make a stock for that too, actually.
You got one for that too, Walter?
Yep. Yes, I do.
Yeah, Hulk. Actually,
hold on. I'll get
yeah, Hulk Hogan says they're coming for the braces next.
Any MP5s?
No MP5s right now. Get the Vectors.
Vector.
You got braces for these?
Not yet.
Not yet. And then we got
maybe the Kestoff one. I'm not sure if it's
good. Got the Savage MSR.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
And you always need the America gun.
All right.
It's the Colt 69 LE 6920 with just Merc it out.
Merc.
Absolutely. Very good. Very good.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So listen, let's do this in the time that you guys have left. You know, why don't you tell us about the store, how people can get in touch with you, how people can, do things, come into the store, and are you going to have a Hank Strange discount?
Absolutely. Just for you, Hank. You can get in touch with us. Our best advertising was Facebook until they started shutting us down. If you guys like us on Facebook, follow us on there. We're going to start throwing links to our website on there and get a YouTube page going. We're also, once we get our website going, GulfCoastGun.com, we're going to give away a Barrett 50 BMG when we get the website going for everybody that watches us on Facebook. So Casey's going to get the bad boy now.
If you need some help giving that away, let me know. I can help you out with that.
Absolutely, we will. We'll reach out. You know, we may shoot it a little bit right before we give it away. It's a lot of fun. This one's got a Night Force scope on it, so it's ready to go.
Oh hell yeah! We have a twin to that gun. So that Walter needs to shoot. I think we can get Walter to shoot, like, to do dual wield those 50s.
Absolutely. I'm sure Walter can hold one up in each hand and go at it.
If you guys want to come up, we'll have a range day. We can go shoot this bad boy along with some other stuff.
Okay, cool. So Len Holt wants to see the Robin Egg Blue gun behind you, the AR.
All right, here it comes.
That could be Tiffany blue too.
That's the Ruger AR 5.56.
Yeah, Tiffany blue. That's nice.
Yeah, pretty. They did a good job on it.
Yeah, a lot better than pink.
Yeah, a lot better. It's a lot better seller than pink too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's nice. That's what Lola doesn't like pink, but she likes that Tiffany blue.
That's becoming mad now is the Tiffany blue.
Okay, and then one more thing. People want to know, where's the AK love?
There's a little AK love, but we've had a little trouble getting them in the last couple of weeks. They've been selling out. I think we got what we got there, Casey?
Century underfold.
You know, the focus has been on AR-15s. It's kind of funny, you know, because every AR-15, it's like the AKs kind of slid underneath the radar. So
that's right. We were stocked up with AR-15s, but we weren't loaded down with AKs. So they kind of hit us hard real fast. So I'm working on getting them stocked back up.
The high dollar AKs are a little bit harder to get right now. They seem to all be sold out, arsenals and things like that.
Well, the ARs have been so cheap for so long, and the parts are so cheap to build them. It's, you know, I never thought I'd see the day that the AR is cheaper than an AK. So, and that's
yeah, they're a lot cheaper right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. So give your final pitch. I know you guys have to go. Go ahead and tell us, you know, what people need to do to get in touch with you and all that.
Just go to Gulf Coast Gun and Outdoors on Facebook. You can also call our store 850-564-1186 or go to gulfcoastgun.com. Facebook's the best way to get our specials, our deals, to see my shining face every day on there. And we do a lot of giveaways on our Facebook page as well, but when Facebook doesn't shut us down.
If I got to see him every day, so do you.
Are you on the Instagram?
We're on Instagram as well. It's Gulf Coast Gun on Instagram.
Okay.
Our Instagram following isn't quite as good, so see if you can help us out with that.
Okay, so right now I'm going to go to Gulf Coast Gun. I'm going to search you guys. I encourage everyone out there to search Gulf Coast Gun on the Instagram. Let's see, Gulf Coast. Is it just Gulf Coast Gun?
Gulf Coast Gun should pull up. It's Gulf Coast Gun and Outdoors on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, I see you guys. So I just followed. So anyone that has Instagram, go to Gulf Coast Gun on Instagram. I'll also follow you guys from the Big Daddy Guns Instagram, because since I am the boss of that, I will follow you
back.
Yeah. I will, you know, search it. Walter, I hope you're searching right now.
I'm answering some people in the chat.
Oh, good work, Walter. Okay, so you're getting, so we're following you there. Also, make sure that you follow these guys on Facebook. Let me make sure I'm doing that as well right now. I think I do, because I know that Casey told me to a while back. So let me just make sure though. Gulf Coast Gun. Wait, it's Gulf Coast Gun and Outdoor, right?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not coming up.
I'm just getting Gulf Coast Gun, but
yeah, I see Gulf Coast Dogs, Gulf Coast. Oh, hold on, let me just search.
That's not us.
Yeah, Gulf Coast.
It might look like that, but that's not us.
Should be able to type in Gulf Coast Gun and it pop up.
Yeah, it popped up.
Unless they deactivated us again.
No, you're there.
Oh, okay. I guess I got to put it all in one word or something like that.
No, I broke it up. But, you know, they're there.
Oh, okay. It's not coming up for me, but I will find it and I will do it.
Oh, it is one. It is all one.
It is all one? Okay.
Yeah, it's all Gulf Coast Gun, one word. Yep.
Okay. You got to make sure. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I will find it, guys, and I will make sure that I'm following it. Okay.
Excellent.
Thanks, Hank. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you guys for coming on. Let's keep in touch and do more stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
All
You
right.
too.
All right.
All right, Hank. Thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome. Peace out, guys. Thanks for coming.
All right, peace out.
All right. Awesome. Those are very enthusiastic.
Yeah, no. I'm yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hang out with gun people all freaking day, man. No matter how tired I am. Now, I won't let this defeat me, by the way. I have to find this thing.
I don't want to sound like I'm defeated or anything, but you know, the fight will come. You know, you have to sometimes take a step back and go, let's see here. How are we going to do this? You know, instead of just going,
Yeah. No, and you know what the thing is? I think we need to make sure that we just don't blow our wad all at once.
Well, right. Or come out look like the crazies, you know, and that's another thing too. You know, you don't want to scare people off that could be on your side, you know, because some people are real skittish about expressing their views.
Yeah, but I really do think that we need to be very, very methodical here about taking out these guys. Like Rick Scott, I'm doing everything in my power personally to take him out. So, and I hope people will join me in that. Like, I'm gonna see. One thing I'll tell you about Republicans, they don't understand social media. They are way behind. That's how Trump kicked everyone's ass.
Right. Well, his people did understand it. There's not really. You don't. As a candidate, you don't have to understand it. You hire a person who does.
Yeah, but these guys aren't good at hiring the right people.
And you know
that, right? You know, I'm not saying Trump. I'm not saying
you know as well as I do. The internet people are mercenaries. They're whores for the most part. These web people, they don't
whores. You mean whores?
Whores, like they take money they do sex for money.
Yeah, but this is how I say it, Walter. Whores.
Horse, like a horse?
No, horse. You gotta put a little bit of H in there, a little bit of
horse.
H in there. Horse.
Okay,
yeah.
Those whores that do the internet will go for the highest bidder, so to speak. The John with the most money. So you can hire a good internet guy, but they don't. I guess they don't trust the younger.
What are you trying to tell me, Lola?
Did you see the article I sent you?
What article?
The article of Dick's Boo.
Oh, about Dick's. Yeah, Dick's CEO says we knew we'd lose customers after dropping a.
They don't care. They don't care.
Dick's loves customers. I haven't been. Listen,
I've been to Dick's one time looking around. I'm like, this is not a sporting goods store.
Yeah.
They sell too many shoes. No.
Yeah. I've said this before, and I will say it again, even in the danger of getting in trouble.
Dick's or Dick's?
Yeah, Dick's gun stores could go suck on themselves. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I really don't care. And by the way, let me take this time.
Hey, LB Lewis Cypher said I hit it on the head with the IT guys. Once again, they're like mercenaries. You know, if you get a good IT guy, he'll go. You know, they know what the hell they're doing. You know, so but a lot of people won't let them go. You know, it's hard to let go of the control.
And let them do what they need to do.
Right.
Yeah. There's there's a lot of people that won't come to us. It's like what happened in with Daniel Defense. I don't know who the hell is advising Marty, but he won't listen to people like me. I was telling, I don't know if you were here yesterday, but I was telling you guys, we reached out to Daniel Defense. We know people there.
He said, they didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, even before he put out that statement where we were saying, hey, you know, come on the show. Let's talk to you. Let's have the people, you know, get in here and ask you questions. And they said, no, we don't want to get into any politics. We don't want to have those kinds of conversations. And then someone tells him to come out with that stupid ass statement.
Yeah.
You know, and I know he backed off of it, but people aren't going to forget that anytime soon. So,
no.
All right, let me do some housekeeping stuff. Those guys are here. I wanted to get their time in. I just want to remind everyone of hankstrange.tv. Very important right now. There's lots of stuff going on, even things that you guys don't understand. Like our fight with YouTube is not over, but there's a whole bunch of other things that are coming at us. So the whole thing with this hankstrange.tv, we're trying to make sure that we create a mechanism that we can keep in touch with you guys. Because if Facebook pulls our page or YouTube pulls the channel or any of these social medias take us down for standing out and saying what we have to say, then we have no way to get in touch with everyone. So we created this thing called hankstrange.tv. So if you go and search hankstrange.tv or put in www.hankstrange.tv, there's a link here in the description that you guys could go to. I'm gonna put let's see, Lola. Okay, Cyrus 308 says he already did it. So this is what you do. You go there, you put in your email address, you're on our mailing list. That's how we'll keep in touch with you and let you know stuff that's going on. But we'll also use it to notify you of other cool things that we have other than, you know, getting dropped from channels, like when we do giveaways. So we do have a giveaway going on right now that I'm going to show you guys. We're giving away these 2 hats from Big Daddy Guns. There's the this is the dark, the black rifle camo right here.
Dark digital.
Yeah, and this is like, I guess this is like the desert digital.
Yeah, that's like a desert.
So where would this one be? Like where if this is desert digital, what the hell kind of digital is this? Is this urban digital?
Yeah, you could say that, because there was some urban camouflages that were that black and white, or
okay,
like a blue and white. Yeah.
Yeah. So one person's going to get this one. Somebody's going to get this one. Plus, we're going to throw in some patches from Big Daddy Guns. So what you have to do, I have an Instagram post that I put up. It's on Big Daddy Guns, and it's also on Hank Strange on Instagram. Go there, comment on that, like it, repost it, all that kind of cool stuff. Make sure you're following Big Daddy Guns, and make sure that your email address is on the list of hankstrange.tv, and you'll be getting this. Walter is going to be coming up sometime here. We're going to give away a 50.
Yeah.
You know, through the mailing list. Like everything I give away, Walter, is going through this freaking mailing list.
I know. We talked about that before. So
yes.
Yeah, we'll get her done. We'll get her done.
Yeah. So we're going to do this. We need to build up this mailing list where we can do some real things with this, and we can actually affect change. I know it's, you know, so it's really, really important. I encourage everyone to go do that.
That could be a good avenue for really getting people information on political stuff too. Is that what you're speaking of? Yes.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking. Wait,
it's like the ham radio of old, you know. Get on the radio set and listen up, you know.
Yeah, it's old school, but you know, I think it's very effective. So you know, I think it's something that we can use. It's going to be to your benefit. We need to build it bigger and bigger. And even I was talking with the Tyven Show. He was sending me messages. YouTube is going to start cracking down on a whole bunch of stuff coming up here, according to the Tyven Show. I believe it. I see it coming. So.
The gamers could be in focus for assault also, I would think. You know, because he's into the game, doing the gaming and stuff.
Yeah,
they might go after those guys too.
Yeah. So Cyrus 308 says he can't win nothing because I don't do social media aside from YouTube. Dang it. Okay, so you know what, Cyrus? I will actually give away something here that's only going to go through YouTube and the email list. So I don't have, let's get this one over, and then the next one that I do, Cyrus, you just remind me, we will call it the Cyrus 308 package. We'll do that. I'm listening to the people.
What? You got to listen to people, man. If you don't
absolutely.
Listen to people, you lose touch, man.
Yeah, so we are going to do that. So I'll do one that strictly goes through YouTube, and then all you have to have is the email address. If you're looking at us on YouTube, you got that. So we will do that coming up. Let's get this one done. And then after this, maybe going into the weekend, I will do something like on Friday, because I think, what's today, Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to announce on the show who gets these hats.
Cool.
I'm going to go look at the Instagram things, and I'm probably going to pick one person that does it on my Instagram and one person that did something on the Big Daddy Guns Instagram, just to keep it you know, keep it fair out there. And but we'll do something for Cyrus 308, and we will make sure, you know,
for you guys out there that still have a wireless set.
Yeah. Yeah. What can we do? Ham radio.
Still got that rotary phone?
Oh my Lord.
My mother-in-law would still have it if they wouldn't have forced her out of it. I guarantee you.
Oh, really? Those
yeah. She did not want to get rid of that rotary phone for nothing.
Yeah, well, those are collector's items now.
And you know what? Rotary phones wouldn't be affected by the EMP thing either. So yeah, but yeah, Katrina took care of a lot of that also.
Yeah, I think someone wants to say what happened at there's a high school. Okay, let me pull this up because
Antioch or something or whatever.
Yeah, this did happen. Let's see how many thumbs. We're 295 thumbs ups. I'm pretty sure we can get to 300 people. Come on, we can do 300. So you know what that was? Let me see if I could find this.
Was some of those good high school students on their protests get a little rowdy?
No. I'm trying to find this story here so I could share this with you. Hold on. I don't want to. You talk about something while I look this up, and then
I am playing with my CZ Bren. For those of you guys that have a Bren 805, it's on the list of things we're going to make as far as stocks. So it's relatively new to me. It's a cool gun. It's a lot like the Scar, if you know about the Scar 17, but quality military type rifle from CZ. So, anyways, are you back, Hank?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
That's all you had to say. That's all you had.
I mean, you didn't want me to keep jabbering? I'd keep jabbering. You know.
No. So listen, okay. I'm gonna put this link up here for you in the chat so you can go look at it.
Okay.
And then that way we'll give you, and then I'll share it here with the people as well, so that we have a little bit of time, because this is funny, crazy, and sad all at the same time.
Oh, okay. I'm not aware of the situation.
Yeah. So go check that out. Okay. And I'm gonna come back to that. Let's pull up some other stuff. What else is going on in the news?
Oh dear.
Let's see what else is going on. Stormy Daniels.
Oh, bless her heart.
Story yet? Has anyone made it into an adult movie yet?
Oh, okay. The Antioch thing was the discharge of. No, it's not the one.
I don't know if that's the Antioch thing, but that just reminded me of a story. Okay, someone has to tell us what the Antioch thing is, because this didn't happen.
Oh, you're talking about the accidental discharge with a teacher carrying a gun?
Yeah. What is the Antioch thing? I thought that's
somebody called dibs on my brand. Man. Smart man.
Well,
smart man, I tell you what.
Yeah.
They're nice guns. But you're not getting it. Yeah.
I see Trump named Larry Kudlow as his top economic advisor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
We didn't touch on it much yesterday. I don't know if it brought bad thoughts to some people, but the new CIA director is pro enhanced interrogation. You notice that?
Okay.
Because she used to run the one of those places where they did that.
Mm-hmm.
For those who believe in treating folks the same fashion they treat us. So no. Anyways, I'll leave that stuff alone.
Yeah, it depends on where people are with torture and all that kind of stuff. I'm all pro torture unless it's me being tortured. Let's put it that way, because we could wind up getting tortured, Walter, very easily. But the truth is, there's no rules, there's no laws. Just like I keep telling people, no law is gonna save my ass. When someone decides to waterboard me, no one's going to be there like, wait a second, this is totally illegal.
No, right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I agree. I don't want to be waterboarded. I don't want to be simulate drowning either. So, but it is an effective way for us to breaking people. But
okay. So Adam DeMoss says hold on. Let's look that up. So I think he's talking about some of the kids that were protesting.
Got a little out of hand.
Yeah, they got out of hand.
Well, I expected that to happen without any, because it happened in another school where they were out protesting, and then they just started roaming around, busted windows out and stuff.
Yeah, so that is that Antioch Middle School, Antioch High School. Let's see what's in the news here. Let's see. So here we go. Okay, so this is in Nashville. Okay, that's interesting. It's come. See, people say that this isn't coming everywhere. This is coming to every state. So this is what is this? This is WSMV.com. How do you pronounce this? Antioch?
Antioch, yeah.
Antioch students tear down flag, brawl during peaceful protests. So Antioch, Tennessee, while most mid-state student walkouts advocating for gun policy changes were peaceful, and productive. Okay, I don't see how it's freaking
How it's productive. Yeah, I don't get that. Yeah.
Videos have surfaced on social media of some mid-state students perpetrating violence. At Antioch High School, social media videos captured a brawl inside the school. Outside videos show students can be seen tearing down an American flag. Head of the rallies, Metro Schools clearly outlined the rules for students, which included staying on school property. At many campuses across Nashville, the district helps students organize speakers and other special events for the walkout. You know, it's interesting that they're helping them do this. I wonder if they would help students if they wanted to protest like abortions or
people burning the flag.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't help them, but they can help them out with this bullshit.
Or maybe if you're pro-military.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, you know what? That's kind of what I expected. I'm not really surprised by it.
No. The whole school supported protest thing is not unexpected, and it's not spontaneous. Let's say that. It's very well organized and very well funded with money too. By the way,
you know what? All these kids don't realize that tomorrow is always another day. And tomorrow, what are they going to do when some policeman kill someone, one of their friends or one of them? Then what? Because you're advocating for taking guns away from people and having people be able to defend themselves. Right. When you advocate that only the government and the special people that they deem to be also special people have those guns. And I just don't get it. I don't understand like where these people are coming from and why they think they're such rebels and they think that they should be disarmed. Why are they agreeing to that?
Let me tell you what happens when the bad people come into power, the really bad people. All the rebels, all the rabble rousers are rounded up and they're rabble rousers and they're rebels and they all get. Ask the brown shirts what Hitler did to them. Mm-hmm. Stalin took a lot of millions of his own people out. Whoop.
Yeah. You know what?
Mao. Same one.
You would know about this better than I would because Tony was asking me about this today because he says he's seen pictures of back in the Nazi times when the Nazis had like piles of guns that they seized from people before they started marching them off to the concentration camps. Did you ever see this?
I haven't seen piles of guns, but I've seen piles of eyeglasses and piles of jewelry and piles of clothing and hair cut off of them when they cut their hair off. You know, the Nazis thought about taking that hair from the Jews and all the people and making blankets out of it.
Yeah. You know, I was actually over the weekend when I get up in the morning, I don't have like satellite or cable or anything like that, but I do have an antenna, right? So that I can see what's going on. So, but when I got up, the local news, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday, it had this guy from Hollywood. I think he was no, you know what? Actually, it was one of the guys that was a producer or an executive producer for Johnny Carson, right? And him and his family were in Germany during this very old guy, and they were there. They were in the concentration camps, and he was talking about how they would wake them up in the middle of the night in a rainstorm and make them stand out in the rain, and they didn't know, like, were they going to put them on the firing squad? You know, it was just like a torture they were doing. He said that he saw the Nazis take a baby and smash that baby against a telephone pole and kill it, right? He was talking about all these horrible things that he saw that he saw the Nazis do. And then he was like, he started tearing into Trump and all the kind of stuff going on. And the thing about this that was interesting to me is that this guy who lived through that still is still one of the people out there that wants to disarm people. And even in this time, you know, he's like, even when he's saying that Trump is so horrible and he saw the stuff the Nazis did, you know, he believes that people should be disarmed. I don't get this. I don't get how this sinks. You know, if you think Trump is so terrible and he's in the government and you saw these things happen when the government took away guns or people's ability to fight back and defend themselves, why would you want that? I would rather have the ability to fight than to ever live to witness that kind of stuff on my knees. You know, I would rather fight and die. than to live through that. Yet these same people who live through all these horrible atrocities want to declaw and disarm the rest of us. It's insane. Like, I mean, am I missing something here? How do these two logics live in the same hemisphere?
They don't really. I don't know. I can't give you an answer. Like I said, I have actually family people that are of that persuasion, religion, and anti-gun, and I don't get it. You can't talk logic to people like that. They just it's like, oh, okay, whatever, have a nice day. You'll be the one they line up and take all your stuff and shoot. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, what's up, Lola?
Compton Terry sent you a message on Facebook that he wanted you to read.
Okay,
he's in the chat now.
Okay, so I guess Compton Terry wanted me to read this. So he says, "Hey Hank, I wanted to say," and I haven't read this at all.
No,
so okay, but I'll read it now. So I'm just saying to you guys, I have no clue what I'm gonna read, so I'll just read it to you. Okay. All right.
I got one question for you, real quick, Hank.
What
is this a movie line? I'm not saying it's Alien, but is that a movie line from a movie?
It sounds like a movie line.
It's a question you got to get into the CZ Bren group on Facebook, and I don't.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie line.
I don't know the answer, so if somebody knows it, please.
I'm not saying it's Alien,
but it's.
But I think the answer is it's Alien. But don't go with me on that. Somebody Google it right now while I read this article.
I'm out of it. Go for it now. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so Compton Terry said, "Hey Hank, I wanted to send you this article after seeing your last video about the new gun laws which ban items like bump stocks and rate increasing devices. What is so important about this language is last year the Fourth Circuit Federal Court used rate of fire as a justification to uphold Maryland's outright ban on all weapons of war, which include most semi-automatic rifles. This explains why after Las Vegas, the anti-gun bills we saw across the country did not mention bump stocks directly and instead focused on the language rate of fire or rate increasing devices. It is a deliberate attempt to use a precedent from the Fourth Circuit to ban all semi-automatic rifles across the country. Please read this article below as it will give you more context about why this is so significant." And then, he goes on, he puts a link to the article. And I think absolutely these guys, they know what they're doing. Here, Lola, they know what they're doing. They know what they're up to. We're falling for it. Republicans, pro Second Amendment people here in Florida and all around the country are falling for this and putting this language into bills. They are very intelligent and very organized, and they're fighting us on all levels. I don't think that is a coincidence that at the same time all of this is going on in America, they're attacking people like me and going, yeah, you better watch your mouth and stop talking trash. Otherwise we're going to delete your channel. Is the answer Alien?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. See, I got it. I didn't even
thank you. The chat also stepped in.
Yeah.
And
so what was that from? Was that from the movie Aliens, or someone tell us what that was from?
Movie skills are good.
Yeah, my movie skills. It's like I'm brilliant even when I don't know I'm being brilliant. I'm a genius even when my geniosity is on a low level of geniosity.
And by the way, I joined the CZ805 Brand Owners Group, so on Facebook. So.
Oh, good. Okay, congratulations.
Yes. So,
do you get a sticker, a badge?
What I'll get is when I make a stock, I'll post it up there, and I'll have lots of people asking, "When can I get it? When can I get it? When can I get it?" So that's what I'll wait till I do that. So,
yeah. Oh, someone says it's from the Ancient Aliens show from the History Channel. I know I've heard that somewhere, and I'm not saying I watch alien stuff. Yes, I do.
That's the whole aliens thing. That's a good subject. Looking for UFOs and all that stuff. Aliens. When you watch these shows, and I've watched some of them when I need some entertainment, they basically say the same thing every episode. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over. But never find anything. They go searching. Think if you found yourself an alien, you'd put it out in front of the. No.
I'm pretty sure that when we
Sasquatch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you finally kick the bucket and we examine that cranium of yours,
there'll be a little alien in there running it.
We will identify it.
like in Men in Black, the little guy riding inside.
Most human beings don't have a cranium like that. I'll just tell you that right now.
Well, we were talking about that today, me and my son, and he's getting a Mastiff, and he's got to get a dog with a big head, or it's not going to fit in the family. It's like,
yeah. Oh my Lord. Yeah. I thought I had like a big head, but you guys, if you guys were living in England and you were soccer fans, you'd be those dudes that knock. You ever see like how in England they like to headbutt each other?
Yeah.
Hey, you could just. Have you ever accidentally headbutted someone and just knocked them out for a couple of days?
No. I try not to use my head as a weapon, but
yeah, because that's that thing's.
Yeah. Besides, you tend to get ugly after you do that too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Rocks. What?
I gotta stay pretty.
Okay. Your bone structure. I would feel sorry for whoever you headbutted. Yeah. Rockstar 6111 says a rock veteran did a funny 5 guns video on top 5 guns for fighting aliens.
Aliens and Sasquatch and all that. If you had a chance to shoot Sasquatch, seriously, you had a chance to shoot Bigfoot and bring it in, wouldn't you do that?
No, I would like to have a beer.
You'd be the richest mofo in the world if you could bring in a dead Bigfoot.
No, I would like to have a beer with Sasquatch. I would like to have a beer.
It ain't like that, man. It's not like the commercials.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't want to take him out, man. I want to tranquilize him, maybe.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't want to take him. I don't want to take him all the way out.
I want to make his coat into a big coat.
Oh, really? You just take him out like that? I mean,
hell yeah, man.
This could be the missing link.
Well, it'd be a dead missing link. We'd have lots of testing to do.
This could wind up like a revenge movie. What if there's like the wife of Sasquatch?
There's a whole family of them out there.
Some little baby Sasquatches.
Here you are. It's like you're sitting in your Sunday morning on your door.
Yeah, and they just run wild on your ass. When all the cameras go away after all your fame, you come home in your Ferrari.
So some liberal gave them weapons and they came to the house. It's like,
but yeah.
Anyway, so that's a movie.
Yeah, Atomic Bull says Bigfoot is real.
Well, you can believe what you like. I mean,
No, listen. For all you know, Bigfoot could be real.
I'm not saying it's not impossible by any means. Trust me.
Yeah. Aren't there tribes that have never seen civilization?
We as humans know very little about us as humans, to be honest with you. We know a little bit about us, and then the rest is just all, it's still to be discovered. So,
okay. Do you believe Atlantis was real?
There's.
You got to think about this one.
Well, look at there's other areas over there in like Greece and stuff where whole cities, Alexandria, part of Alexandria is underwater, where there was an earthquake. So it's completely doable that there was another continent of some sort or something. How do you know? How do I know?
Yeah. I think Atlantis is real, and you don't see me having no second thoughts about it, Walter.
Why do they find artifacts that are like in South America that are like familiar with the same as the artifacts that are found in ancient Egypt? Well, those people couldn't have traveled. There's no way. They were primitives. Well, somehow they traveled around.
Oh, absolutely.
Call a boat, man. You ever seen the stories about the Phoenicians that lived in, I guess that's in Lebanon, that area there in the middle of the Mediterranean? They had huge ships that they built. That's why there's no wood in some of these places. Like cut all the forest down.
Yeah, but even the Polynesians, like I was looking at something about this because I have Polynesian blood, and I was born in Guyana. And people for a long time were like, how did the Polynesians get to like South America and places like that? And they got there on these little tiny ass boats.
It's called a bunch of boats that all sailed together.
Yeah. They used to do flotillas, and they knew how to they knew how to chart the stars. And
there's this it's the human or the modern human wants to make it sound like they're the best thing ever going. They're the smartest critters around. We never had anybody smarter. Well, where do they dig up this? They find this metal from a Viking, and they can't figure out how this Viking made this steel like they did. Well, maybe the Vikings had a little something more than we thought they had.
Yeah.
I
think that's okay. We've advanced in certain technology, but I think in lots of ways, as we go forward, we lose certain parts of our brains. That's what I think.
And you can't,
not everyone, but lots of people. Look. did you see that Stephen Hawking's died? We got to
Yeah.
talk about that
Yeah.
before we go out of there. And he was old. I didn't even realize Stephen
76,
Hawking's was
72, like that. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that old. And,
72 jackrabbits. That's Stephen Hawking. Say like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Shouldn't make fun of the guy, but you know.
But well, you know, listen, from what he believed, it doesn't matter right now. he's almost space dust.
He did.
You know, but he was an incredibly intelligent person, and I think we always have very intelligent, you know, we haven't gotten away from that, but I think the masses overall are getting dumber and dumber every day. It's the reason why we're having a lot of the conversations that we're having. People are getting disconnected from reality and what's going on, and they're not thinking.
It's easier to control the masses when they're dumbed down. That's a fact. But say, like, for example, in the Middle East used to be a hotbed of invention and innovation back in the back when, probably pre-Islam, and there is a pre-Islam. But unfortunately, the Middle East fell prey to, I guess we'll say, forces that restricted that open thought process, which unfortunately some religions do. Not just Islam, but others too. So, and that stifles progress and stifles, scientific thought, so to speak. So,
human beings. There's a lot of things that most people aren't thinking about. By the way, Joe Guzman said Stephen Hawking didn't die; he just changed matter.
Hey, no, what they did was they digitized him into a Microsoft being, so to speak. He'll come back out later on. Just give him some time.
Yeah, and James Jensen wants to know if Bigfoot was pro 2A, would we support him? Yeah, yes. I told you I still would have a beer with him. Walter wants his pelt. Yeah, Walter wants his
son
pelt.
of Bigfoot. It's an old family feud. That's why I can't let it it go away. You know.
Yeah, I would befriend him. I would have a beer with him. I would maybe surreptitiously sneak him some kind of tracking pill so that we can follow him back to the nest or wherever the hell all the Bigfoots are. Because I want to see what the Bigfoot children look like. I want to see what the Bigfoot ladies
are. They Goona Goo-Goos? Remember that from Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, it could be possible the Bigfoot ladies might be, hella hot. You never know.
Oh, I'm not even going to say it. It's going to go in areas that are getting in trouble. So I ain't doing
it. Like, can you tell? That's what I want to know. Can you tell the difference between? Oh, Lola's reminding me of the Snoo chicks from. That's from. Oh my God. That's from Snoo is from
it's like Booty
Futurama.
Oh, okay.
So it's a cartoon and they go to this planet where there's all these big like giant chicks, but they're very boobalicious.
Right.
And they have Snoo with the guys. They snoo the guys to death. You know what Snoo is?
It's like butt cheek to death or something?
No, Snoo is the making of the babies, the birds and the bees, the banging, getting busy. Getting busy. The intercourse.
Getting it on.
They have the intercourse relations.
Making bacon, so to speak.
Yeah. So they snoo them to death. So it'll be interesting. I want to see, how do the Bigfoots tell the difference between the male Bigfoots and the female Bigfoots? Maybe. Is it easy? I'm interested in this stuff. I want to know.
You've thought about this way more than I have.
Yeah, Walter, you're just that I'm gonna shoot him.
I'm gonna bring him over. It's a trophy foot. It'd be trophy foot. Yeah.
You're gonna have a Bigfoot fur coat.
I'm sorry. That goes back to my Cro-Magnon beginnings, I guess,
Yeah, now you know why there's not Bigfoot all over the place.
Well,
yeah.
I guess that's what they say anyways,
Yeah. So let's see here.
What do we got here? I'm going to be
Rod Mills says he took a girl with big feet to the prom.
But was she Goona Goo-Goo? Was she furry?
I don't know. Hulk Hogan said, "Oh my God, Futurama is one of the best. Why did Netflix get rid of that show?"
It's fun. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Futurama, someone else has the rights to it, so it's gonna circle around. But yeah, it was a really good show. It was a really good show.
Yeah.
So let's
Let's see if this thing will balance by itself. Look at that. No hands, man.
Whoa.
CZ's acting good, you know. It wants a stock made for it.
That's that alien technology.
Like force powers.
Yeah.
Emperor force powers.
Now, can you make it go full semi-auto without touching it?
I'm gonna have to work on that. That's a thing you're gonna have to use. What's he say? Rod Mills said she had a lot of pubic hair. Oh dear.
Okay, Rod Mills, TMI.
Rod, that's furry. That's furry.
Yeah, TMI. But apparently that didn't stop Rod Mills from doing it.
Well, yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about this teacher because this is a little crazy. This article. So, teacher's gun is accidentally fired during public safety class, injuring 3. And
not good for the cause.
That's on the New York Times. It's in lots of different places. You guys could look it up. So Councilman Dennis Alexander at City Council meeting in Seaside, California. So they're showing a picture of him in 2015. Mr. Alexander, who also teaches at Seaside High School, accidentally fired a gun during his advanced public safety class. Yeah. So yeah, this is not good for the cause. I heard about this. So it says Commander Nick Borges of the Seaside Police Department said in an email on Wednesday that nobody suffered serious injuries. However, a piece of a bullet shrapnel ricocheted and hit one 17-year-old on the neck, and 2 other students were also hit by debris. So the 17-year-old boy's parents told the television station KSBW that they took him to a hospital for x-rays after he returned home. He's shaken up, but he's going to be okay. You know, the thing is like, seriously, man, sometimes like, I don't know.
That's why I'm not really for the teachers with guns thing. I'm for having some security people there that are not connected to the teaching part of it, but not the teacher, because it's too dicey.
Yeah, but you know, this guy's look, can I just tell you something? This guy's an idiot.
Well, that goes without saying, you know, but
yeah, I mean, you know, some people just think they know everything and they're, oh, I'm a gun guy, I know all about this.
It is so easy to screw up.
Yeah.
It is so simple to screw up. I mean, you think something's empty or you just get real lackadaisical about it. Next thing you know, boom, accidental discharge. It's like, whoa.
It's easy. You never allow yourself to be lackadaisical about it.
Yeah, I know.
Always treat it as if it's loaded.
Always check that thing. I was like paranoid as hell about stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. You know, there's those of us that have to deal with this all the time know that there's ways that you could make this gun into a piece of metal where it's ineffective. And it's really easy. You take out the magazine, you know, you open it up, you make sure that there's nothing in there. You look, you could put your finger in there, you can do all kinds of things, you know, to make sure that there's nothing in there. And, you know, this guy, I don't know, man. I don't know if this was a setup or what, to just like, it's because it's very ironic that this happens the day when the kids walk out. And
very
it proves the point. Yeah, it's very, but you know, I think if it's real and it really happened, it's just plain stupidity.
Yeah.
And look, people can have accidental discharge. That's why there's a whole bunch of rules. But if you get to that point, you neglected something, you messed up.
Right. You're being sloppy.
Yeah, absolutely. There's ways to do this, and people just, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So who knows what happened there, but you know.
Yeah, the answer is not in the whole school safety thing. Is not so much having guards and guns and all that. It's home learning, as I call it. It's the whole situation outside of school, which has gotten out of hand.
Yeah, but I think the solution to all of this is multiple things.
Well, you have to do a multiple approach. Yes.
Yeah. What happened here in Florida, lots of people failed. The FBI failed. The school system failed. The sheriff's department over there failed. Lots of people failed. Then when this thing happened, they held back. They didn't go in there. I think what we need is like, you know, some responsible teachers. You know, we need better security. We need different ways of being able to react to these things. We need to also be aware that we're sending our kids to school and we're not doing anything to protect them except putting stupid ass signs that say gun-free zone.
And that's the dumbest thing you can do. That's like saying, "Hey, it's a good place to kill people." Did you hear? Speaking of the government not doing things, I was made aware of today that there was this kid that knifed, killed some people in another family. It was a friend of his. He was a Muslim. This white kid was a Muslim. Was pissed off that this other kid had like star envy, like he was made a big deal about these celebrities, and the FBI knew about this kid too. And once again,
wow,
yeah. But it's a knifing, so it doesn't really make any difference, does it?
There's lots of ways. There's lots of ways to, to wreak destruction and havoc on other people. I hate to be the bearer of reality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been real common. I don't know if these have been fake news things. I've seen it on Facebook lately, where there's been quite a few knifings overseas.
Yeah.
By folks in China, there was a big one where they stabbed. I don't know.
Okay. I just put something in the chat for you to take a look at. Like one last thing I think we should talk about before we go.
Okay.
Like I'd like to talk about this. I think it was there yesterday or the day before, but I forgot to talk about it. So take a look at that.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. And you laugh about that. But
let's explain. Just explain it. You explain, like read that article out.
This is a Kalashnikov thing, right?
Yeah. So it says CIA agent's memory sketch of the Kalashnikov rifle. So this is on the Firearms blog for anyone who's interested. I put a link up there. So Kalashnikov Media has recently published a scanned copy of quite an interesting drawing. It's said to be a hand sketch of a CIA agent who first saw the AK-47 rifle in 1953. It was part of a report which told that during demining operation Leningrad and Novograd Oblast Administrative Division, the soldiers of Krasnoyarsk Infantry Regiment, were spotted with a new submachine gun. According to the report, the recruits of the mentioned regiment were equipped with PP-SH submachine guns, whereas the more experienced personnel were carrying a new gas-operated firearm.
That means the officers had the nice guns, and the regular guys had the PPSHs. Yeah, because that was a big deal when the AK came out, and it wasn't like nowadays where there's the interweb and all this stuff. So the Russians kind of kept it under wraps, and they kept it close to home. Yeah, it wasn't all over the world yet. And
so, what do you think of this guy's sketch?
Well, obviously he physically didn't handle it. He saw it through some. Maybe he was, he might have been 100 yards away from it or that, but he didn't touch it, obviously, from the pictures. But it gets the point across.
Yeah. Did my link not go through? I thought it did.
I got. I don't know
see it from my link. Yeah, I don't know. I'll put it in the chat again. I think someone was saying.
I saw it, but I don't know.
Yeah, just go to the Firearm blog and search like AK. Let me see what the title of it is.
Okay, and at the same time, when you go to the Firearms blog, there's also another post there about the Russian when they first saw the MP44 and the STG-44 and the MP43, and they have hand drawings of that too. Also, after they captured them. After they captured them.
Yeah, if you're listening to this or you can't find it or you can't follow that link, just go to the Firearm blog and search CIA sketch, and you will find it. Mike the Wop says, "Don't give me homework." I think YouTube is, well, what did I say? YouTube. Rockstar 6111 says, "Page not found. YouTube may be censoring the link." I think that's possible. They might be censoring the link. But if you go to the Firearm blog, if you open up another page and search CIA sketch, you'll see it. It looks like a water blaster gun or something like that. It doesn't look close to what the AK came out to be, but I still think it's interesting.
It's not, remember, but they have dimensions there too, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this is just his drawing of it, and he might not have super artistic skills. And who knows? Maybe this is what the prototypes look like.
No, in 1953 they had regular AKs already. So
okay. So then his drawing skills are just not that good,
right? Yeah,
but he brought it back though. He still brought the news back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We said that James Bond has to be like also Pablo Picasso. Well, actually, this guy's he's closer to Picasso.
We didn't actually, in a similar kind of thing, we didn't actually see the AK-74 in person until the Russians invaded Afghanistan. And that's 74. I mean, it came around in 1974. And Afghanistan was in 1979 or 1980 when they invaded. The Russians did. And that was a soldier of fortune thing. They were the first ones to get their hands on the ammo and stuff like that and give it to the CIA. So interesting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think that's cool, man.
Yeah,
I would like to know who this spy was.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, I would like to know.
Hopefully he made it through his spy career.
Yeah, if he's still with us. And as someone said, yeah, he even sketched out the cartridges and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I wonder if they actually got their hands on one. I wonder, you know. I know they probably wouldn't tell us, but
probably
that'll be interesting, you know. You'd like to get your hands on those. And then also, does he know, did Kalashnikov really even invent this thing? Because I doubt it.
Well, I'm not going into that conversation, but
I think it's more likely he didn't invent it than there's such a thing as Bigfoot.
I think I'll go with Kalashnikov before Bigfoot.
So. Let's agree to disagree.
Even in the depths of Soviet Russia, I think there's no Bigfoot. You know.
Yeah. In Russia there is Bigfoot.
And it's called the Siberian tiger. That's what they have.
It's called Olga.
Did you see? Oh, speaking of that, I saw a video on Facebook of this Russian chick, this woman, and she wasn't real old, but she would her gig is she took a. I got to turn the chat back on here. She'd taken aluminum pans and bends them up. Just and this woman, she had some, you know, she had some arms.
Some Popeye arms.
And besides, she had some bazingas. And when she did the flexing, her went up. I'm like, holy cow! Olga's a tough chick, man. She's folding up in a aluminum fry pan and giggling about it as she's doing it. You know, it's like, man, don't piss her off.
Yeah.
You know? But she wasn't like, you know, like Bigfoot or nothing either. I mean, she wasn't a bad looking woman. She just was strong as all get out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I see you enjoyed that. You watched that a couple times.
I watched it once and I had to turn it off.
You have some dreams about it. Okay, Lola's giving me
Tigo titties.
Snoo.
Hulk Hogan says she had some Tigo whaties?
Tigo bitties. Yeah. That is definitely death by snoo. Death by snoo.
So you go down with a smile though, big time. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be happy to die by snoo. If there's any way that I want to die in this world, I want to die by snoo. Damn it. I want it to be. I don't believe in graves or anything like that. I just believe when I die, Lola. I told her just cremate me, scatter my ashes, move on. You know. But if
put me in an artillery shell and fire me out in the Gulf of Mexico or something. You know?
Yeah, like absolutely. But if I had a grave, I would want on there. He died by snoo.
And he was a happy mofo.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how you want to go out. That's how you want to go out.
With a grin on your face, yeah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Hell yeah. I don't care if it's, well, you know, I would love for it to be Lola. She's listening. But, you know, I don't care if it's Olga. It's all good. Just die by snoo.
It would be like with the Batman.
Lola can't find me after that. She can't get me to you know, to get any more punishments in on me once I'm gone.
You hang up like a scarecrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's wrap it up before we get into any more trouble here. You know what I've noticed? I haven't seen Peggy Killer Keller. I have not seen her in a long. Is she boycotting our show or something?
I don't know if she's watching or not. I don't really know. She's in the other rooms. Sometimes she watches. Sometimes she was just watching TV. You know.
Oh, I see. She's done with us now.
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll tell her we said what's up. Let's wrap it up. Walter, what do you have going on, man?
Let's see what's going on here. Oh, hell, what's going on?
Where the hell are our MP5 stocks, damn it?
I'm making parts, man. We're turning metal. We're turning metal. It takes time.
Yes.
I don't have slave labor like some places do, so. But we are working on it.
Mr. Runyon said snoo with an 8-foot-tall snatch squatch.
Snatch squatch.
That's so stupid. It's
8
funny.
foot tall? That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, whatever.
Snatch squatch.
Yeah.
That's the first I've heard of that. That's pretty good. I'm gonna trademark that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead, man. Tell us what's going. Tell us what
you ruined my train of thought. Now we're turning stocks. We're turning piece for the MP5 stock. No worries. Making CZ parts also for those guys waiting for CZ stocks. What else? Making 50 cals. I test fired guns before I came here today, so that's what I was doing. So.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you posted something on Instagram.
Yep. So getting caught back up with that. So we can make that 50 cal we're going to give away.
Absolutely, we need to do that. That's going to be it's going to be huge.
It's going to be
very big. It's going to be the biggest giveaway ever.
It's going to be a really big show. Really big show.
Yeah, biggest ever.
God, I can remember watching Ed Sullivan when I was a kid. That's scary.
Yeah, really big show. I remember seeing, but I saw it in repeats. I wasn't around in the 1920s like you. So. Yeah. Okay, so is that it? You got nothing else?
That's all I got, man.
Okay. Let me remind. Go ahead. What?
No, that's all right. I'm good. Okay. Knob Creek's, for those that are going, Knob Creek's coming up.
Yes.
C18 in the pole barn. I think Tyvin's planning on going. I heard that Mr. Kevin Diximus Dixie is going to be there at Knob Creek also.
Yes, Tyvin's going to be doing a live show from there, and I spoke to Tony today because I know Tyvin's going to ask me the boss here, Big Daddy Guns, to do some stuff for giveaways during that, and I think he's going to do it.
Okay.
That's not officially official, but I think it's going to happen.
And we're going to give away some of our swag too in that whole thing too. So I'd just like to say though, at the creek, the Wi-Fi signal sucks big time. So it's gonna be challenging to get a good signal. Sometimes you got good, sometimes you got nothing. So
I think that he's gonna have to walk around, find a spot. Hope he has a hotspot or something out there and makes it happen.
His own satellite dish.
Yeah. So, good luck with that. Good luck.
They don't like the media, to be honest, for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I know why.
Oh, so Tyvin's never done this before, but he's
I mean, I've done Facebook Live from their stuff, so as long as you're not carrying a big old camera around, you'll be all right, So
yeah, Treadhead 44 wants to know, where were you when Elvis died?
God, that's one that was in 1977.
I think I was living in England. I think I remember that because my mother cried. She was such a huge Elvis fan, and I remember her crying.
My mom saw Elvis when he came to Tampa one time with a friend she had then that actually knew Elvis when he was a wild child, and she was a dancer. So the two of them knew each other. I don't know if they hooked up or not, but I was 1977. I was a sophomore in high school in 1977. So
yeah, I think I believe I was living in England. I remember my mom crying and my dad being mad that everyone was sad because Elvis died, because my dad was very militant and he was like, he just stole the music from the black man.
Oh man,
which is not a lie.
He didn't. Well, he had that was influence for sure.
Yeah, Elvis is not the only one, but he did it well. You can't knock. You can't knock.
He had a good gig. He had a good gig.
There's not a lot of brothers that can move like Elvis, and definitely not me. So
no, I think I was right. I think I remember I was riding around in a car at that time, and it came across the radio, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks. But he brought it on himself, unfortunately. So
yeah, I also remember when Bob Marley died, because I was living in Nigeria, and there's Jamaicans all over this planet. I have never been anywhere in America or around the world, where there have not been Jamaicans. Jamaicans are the most prevalent people on the face of this planet.
What did he die of?
I think he had some kind of cancer or whatever. Although Jamaicans said that the CIA poisoned him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yes, the Jamaicans cried when Bob Marley died, and I thought it was sad too, because I'm a huge Bob Marley fan. So there you go. No. Yeah. So let's remind people, try to go out here on a positive note. Okay, we are giving away these 2 hats. You have to it's on Instagram, so you need to go look at my video that I put up on Instagram for these hats. It's on Big Daddy Guns, and it's also on Hank Strange, and these are Big Daddy Gun hats. We're giving these away along with patches. So 2 people are going to win these. In order to win, you have to look at the video, comment, like the video, follow Big Daddy Guns on Instagram, and then also your email has to be on the hankstrange.tv email list. Okay, and I want to thank everyone for watching the show, all the comments. It's really great. Thank you to everyone that's supporting us on Patreon. We love you guys. Our Patreon's growing every day, and we appreciate it, since our YouTube is basically going to 0 every single day. But we appreciate the support from you guys, as well as the people who support us You know, Safety Harbor Firearms, Walter and the rest of the family, they help us out to keep doing this every day. So thank you guys for that. Also, ATI Outdoors, check out the sign behind me, as well as Andrew's Custom Leather. I spoke to Sam today, still trying to get him to come on the show. Spoke to him today.
Got to get that voice on, you know, that deep voice. Yes.
Yeah, we might have to go out to Sam in
remote, have the show there at his place.
Yeah, we might have to do it from there to get him to come on. But he said that he's not very computer
coming into the 21st century.
Yeah. He has a phone, he doesn't even keep it on. It's an old phone. He puts it on when he feels like it. You know, and so no one knows the number, including me. I don't know the number of his cell phone, but we will get him to come on, as well as Big Daddy Guns, huge supporter of what we do here. So thanks to those guys. Thanks for everyone for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace. We are out of here. Bye-bye.